Right now, your heart is beating a little faster than it needs to. You didn't run anywhere. You didn't fight anyone. You just read an email. But your body doesn't know the difference. It thinks you're being hunted. That sounds dramatic. It isn't. It's biology. For 99.9% of human history, a racing heart meant one thing. Danger was close. A predator in the grass. A rival tribe on the ridge. Today, that same alarm goes off because someone left you on read. Your ancestors would not recognize your life, but your body still runs their software. Scientists call this evolutionary mismatch. Your environment changed in the blink of an eye. Your biology did not get the memo. Why would it? Evolution doesn't plan ahead. It only reacts, slowly, generation by generation, to whatever pressures came before. And the pressures that shaped you came from a world that no longer exists. Consider your stress response. It's ancient. Genuinely ancient. Somewhere around 2 million years ago, your ancestors developed a hair-trigger alarm system. A surge of cortisol. A flood of adrenaline. Blood rushing to the muscles, away from digestion, away from long-term thinking. This system had one job. Get you out of immediate physical danger. Fast. The neuroendocrinologist Robert Sapolsky spent decades studying this exact system, comparing it across species. His research on zebras is famous for a reason. A zebra sees a lion, sprints for its life, and if it survives, its stress hormones drop back to baseline within minutes. Grazing resumes. Life goes on. Humans don't do that. You can lie in bed at 2 a.m. completely safe and still feel your pulse pounding over a conversation that happened 9 hours ago. Why the difference? Zebras can't imagine the future. You can. Your stress system evolved to handle a lion in the grass. It was never built to handle a looping thought about a performance review next week. But it fires anyway. The same hormones. The same racing heart. Directed at a threat that isn't physical and often isn't even real yet. Here's where it gets stranger. Your body is running this ancient alarm system almost constantly now. Not because the modern world is more dangerous. It's actually safer than almost any period in human history. But it's louder. It's faster. It never fully switches off. Think about your ancestors' actual dangers. They were intense, but they were brief. A predator. A fall. A conflict. Then it passed, one way or another, and the nervous system reset. Your dangers today are different in kind. Financial pressure? Social comparison. A notification that never stops blinking. These threats don't resolve. They just accumulate quietly in the background while your body treats each one like a lion in the grass. The Harvard evolutionary biologist Daniel Lieberman has spent his career mapping exactly this gap between ancestral bodies and modern life. His research points to something almost uncomfortable in its simplicity. Your body was built by and for a world of constant movement, irregular food, natural light, and close physical community. Modern life removed nearly all of it. Not gradually. Almost overnight, in evolutionary terms. Take movement. For most of human history, walking 5 to 9 miles a day wasn't exercise. It was just Tuesday. Your cardiovascular system, your joints, your metabolism, all calibrated around that baseline. Now the average day for many people involves sitting for 8, 10, 12 hours. Your body doesn't register this as normal. It registers it as a problem, and it responds the way it always has, with inflammation, with fatigue, with a dozen quiet warning signs most people learn to ignore or take light. Your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that governs sleep, hormones, even mood, evolved around one dependable cue: sunrise and sunset, bright light in the day, true darkness at night. That's it. That's the entire calibration system, tuned over millions of years. Then, in a single century, artificial light rewired the input completely. Screens at midnight tell your brain it's still daytime. Your ancestors never had to fight their own bedroom to fall asleep. You do every night, and it isn't a personal failing. It's a body trying to interpret light that shouldn't exist yet. So, if your biology is this mismatched, why hasn't it caught up? This is the part people get wrong. They assume evolution is fast, that a few thousand years is plenty of time to adjust. It isn't. Meaningful genetic change across a population typically takes tens of thousands of years, often longer. Agriculture is roughly 10,000 years old. Electricity is barely 150. Your biology hasn't caught up to farming, let alone to smartphones. The physician and evolutionary biologist Randolph Nesse helped formalize this entire framework, a field now called evolutionary medicine. His core insight is almost unsettling once you sit with it. Many modern illnesses aren't malfunctions. They're perfectly functioning ancient systems responding to an environment they were never designed for. Anxiety isn't broken. It's a smoke detector doing exactly what smoke detectors do, just going off constantly because modern life is full of smoke that isn't fire. Does that mean you're stuck? Not exactly. But it does mean the goal isn't to silence these systems. It's to stop lying to them. Here's the modern mirror. That tightness in your chest before checking your phone. That's the same circuitry your ancestors used to scan the tree line. The urge to compare your life to a stranger's online. That's the same tribal instinct that once tracked status within a group of maybe 150 people, now running against millions. The exhaustion you feel after a day of meetings with barely any physical movement at all. That's a body starved of the one input it evolved to expect constantly. Motion, diet. None of this is a flaw in you. It's a body doing exactly what it was built to do in a world it was never built for. Which brings us back to your racing heart. It's still going a little even now. Not because anything is actually chasing you. Because it never really learned the difference between a predator and a deadline. And maybe that's the strangest part of being human. You built a world your body doesn't recognize, and somehow, most days, you make it work anyway. Your heart is beating a little faster than it needs to right now. That's not a malfunction. That's 50,000 years still running right underneath your skin.